Hey everyone, it's Joel Marshall here, and we're getting out there on the internet, and it's time for a little bit of lunch therapy. So glad to be here today. This is a time, lunch therapy. This is a time for us to just relax a little bit, get away from the news, get away from all the troubles. This is a particularly rough week from what I understand. So we're going to take this moment just to have a little fun. And we're not going to worry about the internet and whether it's choppy and all that stuff that I usually worry about. Because today I've got a big lineup. And also I'm going to upload this thing later. So if there's any problems, we'll just be able to watch it later. But for now, we're live streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. I get your comments here. It's just kind of fun. It's just a lot of fun. So that's what we're doing. We're doing some lunch therapy. We like to start it out with a little breath. We're going to take in a breath and hold it and let it out. Yeah, I'm going to take in another breath. And we're going to hold it. And we're going to let it out. And we're not going to let the internet get us down. And we're going to take another breath. And we're going to let it out. So today we're going to start the show with something that I love, and it's something that was designed for us to kind of chill out, kind of relax, and kind of forget about all the stuff that's happening. And it's little Steve Martin, and he's playing his banjo on the Twitter. So I want to share that with you guys. I hope he doesn't mind that I'm sharing it here, but just made me relax. That was beautiful. So I don't know. Hopefully that helped you guys chill a little bit. So I got something a little bit more enlivening that I brought in for you guys. It's one of my favorite things that just makes me think this is awesome. And that I don't know how many of you watch Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones is a wonderful show. But even if you don't watch it, the theme song is just amazing. And then there's this thing. So these are guitar gods, guitar heroes. Theme song, guitar singer, these custom Fender guitars. That's the guy from Rage Against the Machine. This guy is from the band Extreme. That guy's from Anthrax. This guy is a country singer, Paisley, Brad Paisley. And they're just rocking out with the cool thing about it, too, the showrunner's there. He's playing too. And not only that, but the composer. So that guy right there, that's the showrunner. This is the Rage Against the Machine, obviously. We're just adding value to this video. That's the extreme guy. Oh no, that's the Rage Against the Machine. You guys can watch this on your own when I'm not talking over it, but I want to appreciate that it's out there. It's there for you, like me. This is the part Steve Martin just goes off. Everybody rocks it out. That Brad Paisley guy. He's good. I never heard of him, but I guess he's like big in the country music scene. There's a showrunner. Bernadette is just... It's so weird. All right, I mean, that's enough, but that was fun, right? I mean, that was fun. So I invite you guys to check that out. I don't know whether I can show it on my show, but I did, and it was awesome. So anyway, yeah, Matt Wright's got something to say in the chat room there. Let's take a look at it. It's way better than... Yeah, it reminds me of a job I worked where we filmed the opening of the Guitar Center in Tacoma, Washington. Tacoma keeps coming around. Tacoma is like a big topic in this this show. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but it's like a theme. It's like a theme. So now the next thing that's going to happen is I recorded a little thing here before the show. I'm a big fan of John Prine. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you know who John Prine is. If you don't, you should check him out because he's just one of the great singers, songwriters of our generation, of our time. Apparently he got hit with the COVID virus. I don't like to talk about the COVID virus here, but apparently he got hit with it. So I thought, I'm going to step up and just, try and do one of his songs, try and butcher one of his songs, because I thought maybe that might help him in some way, or maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'd give it a whirl. So I played it. Here it is.
That's so right on, Joel.
I am an old woman named after my mother. old man was another child that's grown old. Dreams were lightning, thunder was desire. This old house would have burnt down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, just a free rambling man. But that was a long time, no matter how I try. The years seem to float by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen, I can hear all their buzzing, but I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Well, wait a what?
Yeah, Boney was really excited about that. I don't know if all of you know who Boney is. Boney is my friend and co-host. He's going to be in here a lot more because we've been hanging out, and he's been helping me run the show. And I don't feed him enough. He always wants lunch. I give him lunch after the show, but he always wants it during the lunch therapy. He doesn't understand that it's not lunch for him. It's lunch for everybody else, and they get their therapy, and we work during the lunch. But maybe we can figure that out with him. I have been thinking a lot about what it's like, being trapped away. I don't like to talk about it too much on the show, but I'm starting to feel like the boy in the plastic bubble, right? I don't know if you guys remember Boy in the Plastic Bubble. It was a Don Travolta movie.
Just like Dr. Gunther, they know how to save
his
these
dad
children now.
was the dad from Brady Bunch.
For
And he
another
was a
human
kid
being.
that
I mean, what if...
he just lived in a bubble because he had immune
Johnny, do you think
disease
we could live with
where he couldn't get sick, basically. This was a big movie back then, and it starred John Travolta, of course. I'm going to skip forward in this little bit here just so we can see John.
Come back!
I love John Travolta, by the way. I don't know about you guys. I'm a huge fan of John Travolta.
Don't you know he was a dare? They dared me, so I had to do
nothing
it.
seems to get him down, and he just keeps going. He just keeps going. But we'll talk about him later. So yeah, he lives in this bubble, and at one point he wears a suit, and he goes out, and he gets into this, something happens to him, and he just can't handle it, and falls down, and it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. There's another one like that, Bubble Boy. Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah. He goes out into the world. He has to find this girl and stop her from marrying this idiot. essentially. And so he lives, in a bubble, but now he has to go out in the suit. He does a lot better in the suit than Travolta did. Yeah, so anyway, I recommend those for viewing. I think Boy in the Plastic Bubble is on YouTube. You can watch the entire movie there. I don't know. Maybe it's pirated, or maybe they've just decided, that there's been enough time that's gone by, and now we can just put the thing out there. But it's there for your enjoyment. We're going to have some things happening in the rest of the week here, and I want to invite you guys to come back. One of the things that I've been thinking about lately is that how things that mattered before don't seem to matter as much. One of the things that was really like enraging me before all this stuff happened was at work. We used to get triple pay on holidays, and now it just seems ridiculous because I'm just glad to have a job, right? But at the time, it was just enraging me because I just thought that was the whole thing that kind of kept everything together at work. But what had happened was we had been working, and I'd been working there for years. And when they first hired me, they said, "Hey, you're going to get triple pay on holidays." And this was something that when they hired me, they said, this was like a big perk. And I thought, well, this is one of the reasons that I want to work here. But you know how it is when you're working somewhere and someone gets hired who comes in at like a middle management level and just wants to impress everybody when they come in, and they don't really look and see what's happening there already, right? They don't look to see what's actually working. They just want to come in, make some changes, impress everybody. So that's what happened at my work. Somebody came in, we'd never seen her before. And I think she just took one look around and was like, "These people don't deserve triple pay." And she just unilaterally started making decisions. And it sucked because my work was like, it was hard. I'm a help desk technician, and it can be difficult because people call and they get all, they're all stressed out about their computers. But triple pay just made it just all better. I mean, sometimes I would dance. We wouldn't actually walk between cubicles. We'd actually skip. We were always hugging. And I know that was not appropriate, certainly not appropriate now, but at the time it just felt so appropriate. I don't know if you've ever had a triple pay hug, but it's a beautiful thing. And I miss it. Because what happened was the woman came in there and she's like, "They don't deserve triple pay." And she called a meeting and she met with us, and we had never met her before. And I came in, I was a little worried. Oh, something bad's going to happen because we had never even been in a meeting before. And I sat in the back, and she said, "Oh, you come sit in the front." And so I moved up to the front. I'm sitting up there, and she is talking about how they're going to take away our triple pay, but she's talking about it like it's a good thing. You know how sometimes the people, they're trying to sell you something, so they act like, she basically said we found out there was a big problem. The big problem was there was a computer glitch and everybody's getting triple pay for holidays. And I was like thinking, well, that's not really a computer glitch because they told me about it when they hired me. So I'm not thinking she's lying. I'm just thinking she's misinformed. Maybe I had a look on my face. Lately, my resting face as I get older, and maybe because I have the beard, whatever you would call this, goatee, the Captain Morgan look. Maybe my resting face is not as friendly as it usually is. Or maybe my thinking face is not as friendly to someone who doesn't know me, right? So I think she thought I was getting really angry. But I was probably getting somewhat upset. But I didn't say anything. I was just sitting there. And, after she explained to us that she was going to not pay us triple pay for holidays anymore, she asked if there was any questions. And I raised my hand and I said, "Are you doing this to try and save money?" Because triple pay is like the glue that holds the whole department together. It's one of the reasons that we, have such a good time here. It's not even that much. We don't have that many holidays, but when it comes to a holiday, everybody wants to work. So nobody's asking for it off because everybody wants to get triple pay. And triple pay is like, it's not even about the money. It's something about it. You just feel it through your whole body, triple pay. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but it's, in the film industry, they call it golden time. Golden time is when you've gone into overtime and then you've gone beyond overtime and you've gone into golden time. So for holidays, we got golden time. And then the lady comes in. She's like, sorry, no more. Sorry, the computer glitch. So I try to hold it together. I just shut up after that. I shut up after I asked, are you trying to do this to save money? I tried to explain it. She didn't like it. I just stopped. I know when to stop. I know when to stop. So the department was just hanging low. Everybody's sad. There's no more pirouettes, no more dancing, no more skipping, nothing. And on top of that, about 2 weeks later, I got called in to talk to my superiors because she had complained that I had anger issues. And anybody who knows me knows that I do have some anger issues. But I'm pretty easygoing. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. So I went in there and I tried to, of course, explain to my boss's boss, who I'd never seen before. I'd never talked to before ever again. I haven't talked to since, and I never talked to before. In fact, when I came in the office, when he called me in, he didn't even know it was me. He was like, "What? What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm, the guy, Joel." So I started telling him, because I thought he was like, one of our team or whatever. And he was just like, have nothing to do with it. Nope. He said, I need you to apologize for having anger issues. And so I was like, okay, I apologize for having anger issues. So now we don't have triple pay and I have anger issues and the worst thing about it, no more triple pay hugs, I'll tell you. That is the hard thing. That is a hard thing. A lot of people think that the United States is going into the toilet lately. Because for whatever reason, it seems like a lot of the policies, a lot of the things that are going on in the government and the world just don't seem to be done in the interest of people. They seem to be done in the interest of, I don't know, the dollar, I think, maybe the dollar. I think, one of the reasons that I think we have such a problem is that we came over here from England, right? And we were in England. These people that came to found this country, they're in England. They were like, we don't like this. No taxation without representation. And we've got a king and let's get out of here. So they got out of there. And they came over to the United States. And the problem was they didn't really have a plan about what they were going to do. They were just kind of having a reaction to what was going on in England. It's like when you have a bad relationship and you have a reaction, you're like, this person's too controlling. You go completely the other way. You find somebody that's totally not controlling at all. And then you're like, well, this person doesn't care. They don't care about me. So you've gone completely the other way. So they came over here and there were people already living here, right? There were people already living in what we know now as the United States, America. There were Native Americans living there. We call them Native Americans now, right? They were all living here and they were living for thousands of years. They were living sustainable lives. They were happy. They knew how to do it. They had their own forms of governments and tribes and all these things. And we came over here, the British. I say we. I don't know. Yeah, probably my relatives probably came over on the Mayflower. Some of them. One of my relatives was Johnny Appleseed. Yeah, so they came over, and we came over, and we're just like, oh, we're gonna set up a democracy. And then they just killed off most of the Native Americans. I mean, it could have learned from these people and integrated into the society. But instead we were like, we're going to start our own thing and it's going to be a democracy. And, we're all programmed to love democracy. We love them. We love democracy. But and you know, we love our Constitution and we love, you know, our freedoms. But I don't know how free we are, really. Doesn't feel very free lately. You know, and people can argue about that all they want, but what we should have done is probably learned from the Native Americans. But instead we said we're going to do a democracy, and in our democracy, majority rules. Which is a terrible idea. I don't know if I've never been in a group where we just let majority rule. There's always somebody in charge, and that person's usually smart, or the whole thing just falls apart. If you've ever even just gone to Disneyland with a group of people, you know that majority rule does not work because everybody wants something different. Somebody wants to go on Pirates of the Caribbean. Another person wants to go on It's a Small World. One person just wants to go to California Adventure and get a beer. So everybody ends up on the Dumbo ride, just riding around on the Dumbo ride. And that's what we're doing. I mean, things are really bad now. I mean, things are bad everywhere. But in general, you know, before all this stuff happened, we were riding around the Dumbo ride as it was. Just going, whose idea was this? This is not my idea. I'm on the Dumbo ride. You look down at the little kid, and the little kid looks up at you and says, I just wanted to get a beer. I didn't want to go on the Dumbo ride. I already went on It's a Small World. It's a small world after all. It's a world after all. That'll drive you bonkers. So I've got a solution. I think I see Jonathan Sposado's in the audience. Jonathan, I think that the solution is that we have to have a test that you take before you vote, right? Otherwise, we'll be on the Dumbo ride. There has to be a test that we take, and it has to be written by Native Americans, right? And those Native Americans, we're going to pay them to write it, and we're going to pay them triple pay. Thank you very much. I'm Joel Marshall, and I had a fun time today. I hope you guys did. We took some risks. We had some fun. I'm going to end this thing with what I started. Martin playing the banjo. Hopefully, he's not going to get mad at me.